Hi, today is a Saturday, May 19th, 2025, right? So today is May 19th. I think so. Let's find that out. Yes, May 17th, sorry. So tomorrow is May 18th, the famous May 18th movement day in Korea. It happened in May 18th, 1990, down in Gwangju, my hometown, where many citizens rose against the then military junta led by Mr. John, who died like 1 year ago. He was the major general of the army at the time, but he got the power and he just wanted to become self-appointing as the president of Korea. The democratic people down in Gwangju rose against that idea and demanded him to step down from any post. Then at the time it was a martial law, so he was a martial law or army general, but he refused. So the Gwangju people and the military clashed together, and many civilians and some soldiers also died in the clash. So it is called May 18th movement. So today is the eve or day before the May 18th movement. So I feel sorry for all the people that were hurt or died in the movement, including soldiers and the civilians and their family members. I wish we learn from something from that movement and keep the democracy keep going. I will vote for any people who are willing to rejuvenate Korean economy, make Korea strong again, and increase the science research and education competency, just like the Japan. So let's find out what is going on at the Fukushima, Japan, which was affected by the tsunami and the nuclear power plant meltdown back in 2011, I think. So let's learn English from reading this article, and also let's pick up some knowledge about this. This article is from nature.com, and the title is A Phoenix Rising from the Ashes of Fukushima. In the shadow of the wrecked nuclear power plant in Fukushima, Japan, a new research center is seeking to revitalize the region. Research shows that adding amino acids to soil can enhance the growth of rice, reducing the need for phosphorus fertilizers. Amino acids, right? It has been 14 years since the devastating triple disaster in Fukushima, Japan. In March 2011, the country's most powerful recorded earthquake rocked the Tohoku region, spawning a massive tsunami, which caused the world's worst nuclear disaster of the 21st century. The region has come a long way since then, thanks to recovery efforts, but it still faces huge challenges, including decontaminating land, addressing depopulation, and decommissioning nuclear reactors. As part of its response to these challenges, the Japanese government has set up a unique research center, the Fukushima Institute for Research, Education, and Renovation, F-rei. Established in April 2023 in Namie, Fukushima, F-rei is aiming to help rebuild Fukushima Prefecture and the wider Tohoku region. Its location holds particular significance. A mere 9 kilometers from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, 3 reactors of which underwent partial meltdowns after the tsunami flooded their cooling systems. Establishing up a research institute in an area that was previously off-limits signals the community's determination to tackle its most difficult problems. As chairman of F-rei, Koetsu Yamazaki is leading the institute's efforts to restore and revitalize Fukushima. But the center's mission extends beyond rebuilding. It also includes generating new ideas in areas ranging from agriculture and robotics to clean hydrogen power. F-rei aims to fulfill the hopes and dreams of Fukushima and Tohoku, says F-rei chairman Koetsu Yamazaki, a former professor of materials and design engineering. It is seeking to become a base for creative reconstruction by strengthening Japan's sci-tech competitiveness. F-rei has 4 main areas of focus: research and development, industrialization and human resource development, and coordinating reconstruction initiatives in Fukushima and Tohoku. Human-like touch. One area that F-rei researchers are exploring is robotics. Since robots could help with the efforts to decontaminate the nuclear power plant, F-rei principal investigator Kohei Onishi, head of the Haptics Research Center at Keiko University in Kawasaki, is known for his pioneering work in haptics, a technology that attempts to reproduce a sense of touch for users operating remote robots or in virtual environments. Since 2002, he has worked on haptics in response to demands for surgical robots with a force tactile sensation capabilities. What is haptics? I learned that expression a long time ago. Let me read one more time. F-rei principal investigator Kohei Onishi, head of the Haptics Research Center at Keiko University in Kawasaki, is known for his pioneering work in haptics, a technology that attempts to reproduce a sense of touch for users operating remote robots or in virtual environments. Since 2002, he has worked on haptics in response to demands for surgical robots with force tactile sensation capabilities, right? So that's interesting, right? It's getting interesting, right? So let's go to the dictionary, look for haptics, right? We rarely use this word, not in the daily life. Haptics may refer to haptics, any form of interaction involving touch. Touch, right? Haptic communication, the means by which people and other animals, blind people, right, communicate via touching haptic perception. The process of recognizing objects through touch, haptic poetry, a liminal art from combining characteristics of typography and sculptural haptic technology that interfaces with the user through the sense of touch. Human-like touch. One area that F-rei researchers are exploring is robotics. Since robots could help with efforts, right? In pursuit of what he describes as real haptics, Onishi has focused on maximizing the speed and sensitivity of force feedback systems that could help machines manipulate objects in the real world. He developed remote-operated grippers that are sensitive enough to grasp delicate objects such as paper cups and strawberries without damaging them. In 2014, an algorithm he developed was incorporated into a commercial chip that could be used for controllers and robotic manipulators in construction machinery. Conventional industrial robots can grasp an empty paper cup, but they cannot pick up a cup full of coffee, says Ohinishi. But that becomes possible with forced tactile sensation technology. Real haptics make robots more adapted to the target object, whether it is soft or hard, also allowing them to push or insert objects. Kohei Ohinishi is developing haptic robots for recovering nuclear waste from nuclear reactors. Mixtures of uranium, zirconium, and other metals are thought to have accumulated around the bottom of the primary containment vessels of the reactors. However, the exact composition of the material is unknown, delaying the decommissioning process. After years of planning, in November 2024, operators managed to extract a tiny sample of debris, which they are studying. Ohinishi is now developing robotic systems that can operate in the hazardous reactor environment, rejuvenating the land. F-rei is also focusing its R&D efforts on agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. Right? Agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. Here, fisheries are plural, right? I have to take a look into it, right? Fishery. Agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. Energy, radiation science, and drug development, and nuclear disaster knowledge dissemination. Farmers in Fukushima were especially hard hit by the fallout in the disaster, which contaminated millions of tons of soil. After years of efforts to remove topsoil, an interim storage facility in the towns of Futaba and Okuma had processed enough soil to fill 11 baseball stadiums. Even after the topsoil is removed, however, crops can still absorb residual cesium in lower layers, according to principal investigator Naoto Nihai, a professor at Fukushima University's Faculty of Food and Agricultural Sciences. Farmers have been encouraged to use more potassium than before the disaster, as it can block the absorption of cesium. However, overuse of chemical fertilizer increases the cost of farming and can lead to soil degradation. The goal of Nihai's research is to find ways to enrich soil that has been stripped and degraded to boost agricultural productivity. Nihai has been pursuing a biology framework called multi-omics, in which data from a plant's genome, proteome, microbiome, and other sources are analyzed to better understand the interactions between soil, plants, and microorganisms. He has found that plants not only absorb inorganic nitrates and ammonium, but also organic nitrogen as well as other components such as amino acids. Nihai has achieved more robust growth in rice plants by applying to the soil only 4 amino acids: alanine, asparagine, aspartic acid, and glutamine. The agro-ecosystem contains many elements that were studied separately, but we are trying to integrate their analysis, as Nihai. We are using machine learning and digital twins to clarify the causal relationships between these elements with an eye to improving soil and predicting crop growth and quality with an eye towards, right? With an eye to or with an eye towards, with an eye to improving soil and predicting crop growth and quality. That's good expression. Japan's California, with these and other initiatives, F-rei is seeking to find positive opportunities amid the horrors of the 2011 disaster that could lead to growth, scientific progress, and the launch of new industries that can benefit people everywhere. The Institute now plans to add more principal investigators and nearly double the number of research units, eventually bringing the number of researchers and technicians to around 500. As it does so, it will take on increasingly complex challenges, such as assisting in the greening of Japan's energy supply using hydrogen, safely decommissioning Fukushima Daiichi, and aiming to return the farmland of Fukushima to health. Yamazaki's vision to the region is for it to become a land of coastal vineyards and innovative companies. I want the region to be the California of Japan, says Yamazaki. Many people are trying to make Fukushima one of the best places in Japan, in place that people will want to come and stay. There is a long way to go before such an idealistic vision could be realized. But establishing F-rei is an important step towards a brighter future for Fukushima. Nature Research Custom. So this article is, I don't know what shows what they are doing up in Fukushima, and they want to turn the region, Tohoku region, into the California of Japan, right? Vineyards, a lot of good commercial companies, people come and relax, enjoy the sceneries, while the topsoils and the cesium-enriched soils are still lurking as a danger to any such a dream. So it was an interesting article, but Japanese, they are very hard at work and they are very smart. So they are leading the research and will soon have fruitful results with a haptic technology, right? It can lift both the cup of coffee and the strawberries. Well, good job to Japan. And thanks for listening. Have a wonderful Saturday. Bye-bye.